Okay, we are live now. Hello, welcome back. Our second webinar of the day. We are ready to start with a very interesting topic related to the emotional dentistry combined with protocol, how to take advantage of protocols, the patient experience, how to use these emotional protocols for the modern dentistry. And the guest that we're going to have today is a very good friend. It's a reference in the emotional dentistry topic, but not only about that. Of course, it's one of that topics. Is the topic of the day. Edu, as I say, is a good friend. Eduardo is from Spain. Now he's in Switzerland, in Geneva. He will explain us what are you doing there. I met you here in Spain, and now you're in that side of the world. So he will explain us a little bit how was that process, because it's part of this journey. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that you are going to take a lot of advantage of this. Many of the videos that we use in our presentation about emotional dentistry are made by Edu and his team. So you will see how important is this and how to take these full advantages. Edu, you are now on the screen. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us, to be so humble, no, to share all your knowledge, all your experience. I know that your journey was an incredible one. You was one of the first to implement the Christian ideas. I will always talk about you when you was in the Miami Super Week, like a normal assistant. You saw that course and you said, that's it for me. You took that ideas and I said, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna be the best. And exactly that's what you did, no?
Well, thank you very much, Luken, for having me here. It's a real honor, always sharing with DSD and with the team. I don't know about being the best. That's you saying that. I think there's been such amazing partners lecturing with you these days that it's hard to top it off. Actually, today, this conversation with you, it's the first time I'm going to, let's say, lecture a little bit in almost 2 years. I've been very busy with my Swiss project. How did I end up here? Who knows? For those of you who know me a bit better, I am married to a Swiss, but that had little to do with all this process. I saw an opportunity here in Switzerland to implement this modern way of practicing dentistry. I felt that in Spain, everything was well under control with my brother in charge of the clinics we had there. And I guess I'm the kind of person that if I don't leave my comfort zone, I just get bored. So I challenge myself. Here I am. I'm super happy with my new life here. And let's see where this takes us. It seems like the journey is just beginning. I have a lot of amazing and exciting projects coming up. I think Smile Design Boutique is going to go international sooner than we think, and we're going to be represented in other countries. So that's a subject for another time. And overall, thank you, Luken. It's a pleasure.
As you said, Edu, like you was a very active instructor. Edu is a DSD key opinion leader, giving many courses about DSD, traveling all around the world, giving lectures about DSD, about the emotional dentistry, about the ideal protocols. And suddenly, Edu disappeared and stopped to give lectures. And the reason is this lecture. You will see, as exactly as he was explaining. No, he just played pause and go to a different way, create this incredible project. He moved from Madrid to Geneva, and like 1 month ago, a little bit more, we had here the instructors meeting, all the DSD community master instructors all together. And I was talking to Edu, like, Edu, man, it's time to go back. Now is your moment. I think that your clinic is already working well. And he said, okay, let's see. And I think this is the first step. So you're back, man. You cannot avoid this.
You know how much I love it. This opportunity Christian gave me all these years ago. I really miss you guys. I really miss being on stage. I love sharing my knowledge. And the interaction, especially when you go out, when you travel, and you meet all these amazing participants in the courses. It's always a great way to improve yourself, and I really do miss it. So I've been talking to my team and I've already been telling them, guys, we're going to have to make some space in my schedule because I think I'm getting on the plane again.
It's perfect. We're waiting for you. So I know that you have a very new material, so we are so excited to see that. And we already have a lot of people connected, people from Norway, people from India, people from all around the world is already connected. Edu, we have a very good fan, Janet Gardner. I think Janet is already in all our webinars. Thank you, Janet, for spending this time with us. It's a real pleasure. So Edu, now your screen is in the big screen, so now everybody can see you. So go ahead, you can start with your lecture.
Thank you so much, Luken. So we're talking today about digital protocols through emotional dentistry and how to become a successful modern clinic. But before we jump into these matters, I would like to start by maybe helping understand better what kind of world we are born into these days, especially with the hard times we're living nowadays. We are born into a world that is actually full of this. It's full of uncertainty. We are hyper connected with technology. There's so many possibilities. People are afraid of choosing. There's no transparency in companies. And more important, in our field, the medical field, the dental field, the patient feels lost. He feels misunderstood. And I feel that when we are trying to implement a brand, a new concept, a modern clinic, we need to base things in what the world really needs, which is totally the opposite. It's certainty. And the root of certainty is in people. People create confidence based on facts, not words. This is what, for us, finally, this is an opportunity. I feel this presents to us, especially in these moments, as I said, a great opportunity, an opportunity to all together visualize and contribute to the future of our beloved profession. So the question that I ask all of you is, will you help me? Will you be on board? Will you help the DSD team? Will you help this profession? And what if we could reinvent the dentist? What if we could protect, inspire, and communicate and reach our patients like never before? With the digital technology available for us nowadays, let's help them understand the beauty of our profession. Let's help them understand how precise and predictable we can be in everything we do. And this is a team challenge. My response in my new project is simple. It's empathy, both for my patients and for my team, and digital technologies as a way to get there. And with this, we created a patient experience. An experience, I think nowadays, it's all about how we make people feel. People want something more. And if we are able to generate a unique, a special, an empathic experience for our patients in our clinic, our relationship with our patients will completely shift into a new kind of relationship. The trust will be gained much faster. Here is one of my first videos. Guys, I'm sorry because all the text is in French, but I'm sure you will understand it. This video actually was in the beginning of Switzerland. It's close to 2 years old, where my digital protocols were not 100% digital. They were through the whole process, except for natural restorations with DSD, which is the only way I'm finalizing all my cases nowadays. So here is the video.
Before to go to the video, two things. One, the first one is you're talking about empathy, about to be close to the people, and sometimes we don't realize how important is that. No, now and the moment that we are now in all around the world, we are completely isolated. We are like a rethinking all that. No, it's like wow, I miss to be with the people. I miss to interact. There are many people posting photos like I miss my clinic, I miss my patients, no? And usually in your daily you say like, oh, come on, man, let's go work one more time. And now we're missing that, no?
Yeah, it's absolutely true, Luken. I believe that if there's no close interaction with our patients, my father always taught me, you have to be a friend for your patients, not only see them as merely a patient, and you will be successful in anything you do. And I think now DSD and all the digital technologies have given me the beautiful opportunity to have these tools to really get in touch with these strangers that walk into our clinics and we need to connect as soon as possible to then be able to better help them.
How was that process that you start to implement the DSD concept in your clinic? I'm talking about here in Madrid. I know that you, as I remember, you had a normal clinic, like another clinic there in Madrid, and suddenly you just switch and you say, now I want to change all my protocol. How was that process?
How about if we leave that for a bit later? Because I have a slide that I created some years ago together with Christian where we go through the whole journey.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's see this video with the patient experience and then we can carry on.
Go ahead.
C'est si bon de partir n'importe où, bras dessus, bras dessous, en chantant des chansons.
Nothing else you can do in the world that replicates this. That's
Wow, as always, your videos are so powerful. I have some notes that I have some ideas, some questions that I want to ask you related to this topic, but I want to wait until the end, but because I'm sure that you are going to talk a little bit about that. My first question about this video, that patient is from where?
Actually, that patient I would consider it to be the first patient of Smile Design Boutique. But I treated him while we were still under construction of the clinic, and he flew from Switzerland to Madrid, and we actually did it in Q Dental in Madrid.
Okay, I just want to know because
he's my insurance agent. He has all my insurance.
Wow, so a tough guy. No, it's a normal businessman. Then I'm making this question
really
because
have time, and I could show you his testimonial video. I record testimonial videos of my patients. It's really touching, coming from a person that Swiss people are amazing people, but sometimes a bit hard to break through. They don't express much their emotions.
Yes, I was trying to go in that way, because usually people say that DSD, that emotional part is more for laughing people in Spain because they are more warm. I say no, and that's the way that I'm trying to conduce you.
Yeah,
patient, right?
In the past, everybody would have that excuse with me. Of course, you guys, you're in your Spanish, everything, emotions are out there so easily and everything. Guys, I moved to Switzerland. Here, emotions are hard to see. And believe me, I see exactly the same thing I was seeing in my clinics in Madrid. I see that emotion pouring out from people, and the experience is as powerful. Believe me.
Completely agree. Go ahead.
Okay, so the key here is that we allow our patients to see and feel their new smile before we begin any treatments with the DSD prototyping technology. This is a key factor in this patient experience, and I have another video now that I want to share actually live. This experience with a very tough patient, because this patient in this case is actually one of my receptionist team. So you can imagine that she already was trained in all this and she already knew what was coming. And regardless of all that, the experience was so powerful that, well, here is the video. Here is how I show all of my patients their new smile before we even talk about treatment plans. And we're back. So at the end, the message here is that we are able to create a very powerful and emotional experience. I've been lucky enough to be able to record many of these amazing moments that you have with your patients, where this is the actual emotional dentistry. What it's all about is this moment, is when you're able to touch your patient, where you're able to really make them feel that you are there for them, that not only are you a better or worse professional, that you have all the technology, but that you are there to listen and you're there to understand them and you are there to share with them those final results even before we begin. These recordings throughout the years, I know this video is still shown in the DSD courses all around the world. I've actually updated it a little bit now to show some of those Swiss reactions. So with further to do, here is that video that shows how powerful this really is, Luken.
Yes, as you said, we're using many KOLs and instructors are using this video because when I said that you are the best on this, I'm not lying, because we are using your videos. And it's the best way to really represent what it means DSD for the patients and for this communication, no? And it's very important because that type of videos are talking about the pre-case acceptance. It's almost nothing related to dentistry, no? There's no handpieces, there's no anesthesia, there's no implant, there's nothing. It's just pure emotions. And that's the way that how you create the perfect connections. And after that, is when you start to talk about the planification, business, numbers, and of course, this increase a lot your case acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can go through the video. Go ahead.
Here we go.
Okay, full screen. Very powerful. No, one more time that this one is better because there are people that is not from Spain. It's people
Yeah,
from that tough side of the world. No, I
you
have
can
a
see.
very good comment for you and about one of that videos. It's one of my favorite one. Is from Gabriel.
Mhm.
Gabriel video for me is like a wow. It's the video, and you know that I show this video in almost all the courses. And the last course that I gave, there's in the front line there was a participant. I say, I know that guy, and he was the doorman in my building, and many times this guy asked me to treat him, and I always try to avoid because it was a very tough case. I don't know how to avoid it. And then she said, I saw that video, and wow, how was the final result? I really want to talk with Eduardo. I'm so happy that somebody gave him a solution. So your that video was going viral for sure.
Thank you so much, Luken. Yeah, I really enjoy it. It's all about that. It's all about that moment, as I said. Um, I don't consider myself to be the best dentist in the world, but maybe, perhaps, I have that best way of creating that unique connection with our patients. And it's all about that because this is what will allow us actually to help them understand the necessity for a full mouth rehabilitation, which is the only way I proceed nowadays. We'll talk about this later, but patchwork dentistry, I think, is something of the past.
No, the thing is that the modern dentistry now is very related to the human beings, right? Because at the end, the patient cannot evaluate us like, oh, Dr. Eduardo is very good because, oh, look how perfect he plays the edge in 20 seconds. And look here, the bird that he's using is the perfect. They have no clue about that.
No,
So they talk more about you related to connections. Wow, the clinic was incredible. You cannot imagine how treatment. And they spoke with other potential patients, and they talk about this. They say, wow, you cannot imagine how in Smile Boutique they treat me. You cannot imagine how was my experience in Curental. It was incredible, all the process. And they maybe don't even mention the dental part. They just say, well, and the result was incredible. That's the
no.
only part, the only thing that they talk about dentistry, no?
At the end, it's about that, you know. Okay, my friend. Any more questions related to this part? I'm
No,
gonna
no,
jump
go
that.
go ahead. There are people here saying that they almost get emotional with your videos. People from India, people from Pakistan, many people saying hi.
Hello, everybody. Okay, so every journey, of course, has a beginning, and for me, I keep changing this slide. You know, just changing the years. Now it's close to 6 years ago where I entered in contact first for the first time with the DSD team. Here is where I was in this search, looking for something different, looking for something that would help me enjoy more my profession. And at the end, it was this guy, you know, this visionary who blew my mind off and introduced me into all the world of DSD. More importantly, Christian was the guy who saw something in me, not even myself had ever seen. He was the one who pushed me. I had never thought about being a lecturer, doing courses, or anything like this. He was the guy who introduced me to what we all know, which is digital smile design. For me, digital smile design, it's not a protocol, it's not a software, it's not even the team behind it. For me, DSD, it's a philosophy of life. It's a mind shifter. It's a new way of envisioning our profession. And when you use all the amazing tools that DSD provides, and they're available for us nowadays, believe me, your day by day completely changes. It's mind blowing. I I do still get emotional when I think about all this. How lucky I was to have this opportunity to meet Christian, to meet all of you guys, because it really changed my life. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing what I do nowadays if it wasn't for that. So here's the moment where I say thank you.
No, thanks to you, Edu, for trust us. No? Well, to trust Christian because he was the one that started all this journey like 12 years ago, no? And you was one of the first believers that just took that ideas and you say, I go for it. I don't care about anything. I want to start to implement, right?
Totally. So what is DSD? If we had to summarize it, for that, I would like to pose a couple of questions. We're talking about what can make us different. We're talking about how to have a modern, successful clinic. So the question would be, why should they choose us when we're living in an ocean with such a tough market where we're competing against big surfaces, franchises, insurances? Why should the patient choose us? I think after you see this next video, you will know the answer also.
They don't like that modern music, like to groove a little bit. He's a hard swing traveling man now. See that man with a saxophone in his hand. Everybody knows he's a real thing, hard swing traveling man. Traveling man, hard swing traveling, hard swing traveling man, hard swing traveling, hard swing traveling man, hard swing traveling, hard swing traveling man. He's a hard swing traveling man, hard swing traveling man.
Oh. Beautiful, Edu.
All of those that you saw there were just mock-ups. And the question, why should they choose us, is because we're much more than dentists. We suddenly become something beautiful. We're smile designers. It's a completely different approach. As I said, it's a philosophy, a professional philosophy that changes everything. We don't do treatment plans. We don't deliver solutions for biological functional problems. We actually, what we do is we deliver dreams. Our goal is to change our patient's life, to influence their lives, to make them a better life. Not only give them back health, but also give them back self-confidence. Give them that courage to confront whatever their life might be in a better way, in a happier way. But let's not make the mistake of thinking that DSD or digital technology is this magical wand that comes into our life and suddenly everything is beautiful. Of course, like anything that is worthwhile in this life, there's a journey into it. And my journey into DSD is very well represented in this slide. This slide is a slide actually we created, Christian and I think it was in New York some time back, with the step-by-step. As I said, I first met the team in 2015. I came back to Madrid, super excited, put everything into place without having no idea what I was doing, but I just knew that I had to do this. After 3 months, I managed to convince my staff. Everybody was on board. Everybody was starting to understand the power behind this. We started charging for the experience. Then we decided not to. After a little while, my journey in the DSD team progressed. I became a DSD master. After that, I realized the power of DSD. We started doing it for all of our cases. We were still working with Keynote and 2D and wax ups at this point. Again, my journey in DSD evolved. I became a DSD instructor. I started to see the power in this experience. I hired, in my case, an audiovisual tech to help me because I had no time to see my cases and at the same time be doing videos and preparing the presentations. So I brought in, let's say, a quite unique new position in a dental clinic, which is an audiovisual tech, a professional photographer, videographer to help me with everything that I did. Evolving, pushed by Francis, pushed by Christian, left 2D behind and jumped on board with the 3D planification technologies, became a DSD clinic. All this, I don't know how, landed me with a TV show in Spain where me and my brother, Sergio de la Torre, we would transform 2 or 3 smiles every week in front of 3-4 million people. Our clinic started to grow. Everything exploded. At this point, I thought it was intelligent to have the design in-house and my own lab. I soon shifted from this. The volume was crazy. That's not my business. My business is clinics. So I outsourced to the planning center, and that brought me to my now, where I fully work with the planning center. All of my cases, where I'm finalizing all of them with DSD natural restorations, which gave me the courage to make this big jump and move here. This is Geneva, and that's exactly where my clinic is, in the Golden Mile of Geneva, with neighbors such as the Ritz-Carlton and the Four Seasons Hotel. Right in the heart of Geneva. Believe me, it wasn't easy. They say here in Switzerland, if you can make it in Geneva, you can make it anywhere in the world. So I think this is proof for the DSD protocols. Geneva is a very conservative Calvinist city. Latin boy like me coming in wasn't something they were very happy with. And I was opposed from the beginning, but my mojo was so powerful, my protocol so well defined at this point, that inevitably everything, not without a lot of hard work, started to go very good for us here. The public started to accept this new way and this new vision. And now I would like to share with all of you part of this struggle, because this video is a video I launched in my first anniversary in the clinic, where we're going to see the clinic starting from scratch until what it is today. Something I really never imagined I would have a dream clinic like this. But thanks to DSD, to perseverance, to the digital protocols, and to so many other factors, this is where I am working nowadays.
This is the first time that I saw this video, Edu. So I saw you don't lose a moment to take advantage to record and present. No, it's very interesting, because it's the way to show the value that, guys, I come here, I just create this from scratch. So I create this to make you really feel comfortable. Now I'm thinking as a patient, and I think this is the perfect clinic for you. So I suppose that you show this video to your patients too.
Yes, we do. Actually, let me tell you a little anecdote. During the construction of the clinic, I had 16 different inspections to control me, controlling what I was doing. I'm in the middle of the historical part of Geneva, from all of the different departments. I can tell you nowadays, a lot of these inspectors have become friends and are patients of the clinic. I can tell you that when I was controlled by the medical, let's say the medical control and the medical entities here, I was I was so scared about coming into Switzerland that I actually doubled everything that the rules said here. I am very happy, especially in these times that we're living nowadays. We were congratulated by the inspectors, and they told me you actually have the best cross infection and sterilization protocols we've ever seen. Um, they had nothing to oppose, and that opposition helped me grow also. And as I said, now most of them are friends and patients. So the first time I got an inspection, I was scared shitless, but then after that, things evolved. We progressed, and here we are.
Oh, it's beautiful. I need to visit you in Geneva. You know that my best friends from the school moved to Geneva too. So I think now I have two reasons why to go there. Then I have some question that the main question for me is why Geneva? The world is huge, and then you said Geneva. What is the tough place in the world, the hardest patient? There's where I want to open my new clinic.
Yeah, it's part of the challenge. My vision for Smile Design Boutique, it's as a business plan, is the business plan of a luxury brand, is more the business plan of a boutique like Chanel or like Hermes, more than the conventional dental clinic chain. And I knew that before moving forward, I had to prove it to myself that all this that I had written in over 400 pages of protocols was actually successful in real life. I knew that when it comes to international trust and perception, a Swiss brand is something very powerful. I felt it was the moment to move from Spain. I had spent many years there. As I said before, my practices in Spain, my brother's practices in Spain were totally under control. I guess the fact that my wife is Swiss influenced a little bit all this decision making. I did a course back here. I gave a course a couple of years before opening Smile Design Boutique together with Nasser Ben Bashir, great partner. I'm sure you know him. And I just fell in love with this. It's incredible because this is a very small town. It's no more than 200,000 inhabitants here, but it's internationally known. It's a center. We have United Nations here. We have all the international World Trade Organizations, World Health Organization. Everything is centered in such a small town. And this is a very unique platform to show yourself to the world. And I guess all that together what made me come and give it a shot here in difficult Geneva.
Yeah, so Madrid was your test drive. You put in practice, you create protocols, and you say, my product is done. Let's do it.
Yeah, exactly, Luken.
Right.
All right, so how to have a successful modern clinic? I think we don't have to forget the basics. We don't have to forget that to be able to practice minimally invasive, digitally planned dentistry, nothing has really changed. The wheel cannot be reinvented, and everything has to start from the basics. I think we don't have to forget that if we want to really have an holistic, multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary approach to all our cases, the line we should follow when we're planning for our cases should always be the same. Biology should come first, followed by function, and then aesthetics. Aesthetic must never compromise biology and function. So these are some of the basic principles in practicing dentistry. And now we're applying it into digital dentistry. And I think also it's very important to leave behind this social perception, the traditional paradigm, and change it for something a bit more modern. And what is mainly this shift in this paradigm for the way we see and we present dentistry? I think it's time to stop feeling we're up in a pedestal as dentists, like it happens so many times. Stop showing so many our masters and our diplomas. If our patients are there, it's because they already trust us. Let's show our previous cases. Let's have our patients speak through our testimonial videos. Let's help our patients understand what we do through visualizing and not so much having to tell. Leave behind those intraoral x-rays. That's for us dental freakies, in our congresses. It's not for patients. For them, let's just show them the beautiful before and after in photos. Thanks to DSD, now let's plan everything from a facial analysis and then move into the mouth. not that limited dental analysis that we used to do. Let's offer our patients something that is super valuable nowadays, time. With good planification comes real-time planning. Instead of having to adapt along the way, we offer confidence from the beginning. We don't ask them to believe in what we do. We offer predictable results thanks to digital protocols. We never base what we do anymore on hope. And most importantly, now we are able to convince them that the best path to avoid the dentist is actually to go for a full mouth rehabilitation, whatever this might be for each case, and leave behind patchwork dentistry, which is actually what has been ruining the social perception of our beautiful profession. People get bored of having to go to the dentist and spending money year after year after year. And even worse, to then not even reach that final ideal or optimal result that we can offer if they allow us to treat them with a full mouth rehabilitation. Of course, there's some digital technologies that I advise we should have in our practices. If you're going to ask me about 3D printing, I am for sure not the biggest expert in this group. There's people like Francis Coachman in the planning that you work closely with. I know Jesus Creac in Sevilla know a lot about printing technology. I just recently jumped into this, but I can tell you that when you have a printer in your clinic, you will have high precision at a very affordable price, extreme detail, more importantly, very quick transfer of information, and it will complete your digital workflow. I remember Fadi speaking with you the other day when other colleagues asked him, where is your lab? And he was saying, well, my lab is in Rio de Janeiro, Sao Paulo, and Madrid. And they were like, what the hell? How can you have a lab over there? Why do you have a lab next door? Well, to me, it's the same. My labs are in Sao Paulo and in Madrid with the planning center. And the way to communicate nowadays online and in the cloud, and the best way to close the circle is to have these printers in our clinics that really are affordable nowadays.
Related to this topic, Edu, just to complement a little bit, the first webinar with the one that we start with George Cabanas. He's responsible in the planning center. No, it's there. You can see it is there. And he was explaining about the technical details and all the details about the 3D printers. I have a message here that a question that I'm receiving by everywhere. As I told you, we are on many different social medias. And how you define a successful modern dental clinic, and what does it looks like? It's related to this because you are telling me that you cannot imagine a clinic without a printer. You are showing a videos, incredible video. I saw the small details like the lighting. I saw that you have a studio there in the clinic. So how you can answer this question?
I hope nobody confuses my chat and my lecture here with you today with a successful clinic with a luxury clinic, because it has nothing to do with that. Believe me, I've gone through all different kinds of clinics. I was born in a dental clinic. The first clinic of my dad in Miami was attached to our home, and a successful clinic, it's nowadays, I think it's not about the luxury in it. This is just a different segment for a market. I think it's about understanding digital technology, learning how to bring it into the experience, not only the results for your patients, but the experience. In any clinic, we don't need to have a professional photo video studio to be successful nowadays. I think what's more important is to understand digital technology and to find your own way of connecting with your patients, find your own way with your environment to create that patient experience adapted to yourself, to your team, to your space. Really, if you manage to do this, if you manage to connect with your patients, the environment in which you do it will become something secondary. The important thing is human connection.
Okay, but imagine that you are going to build a new practice, not a luxury one, or you already have your practice and you want to bring some things to become a modern clinic. I'm not thinking about the luxuries, but the different areas or the things that you can don't forget to implement all these different protocols about modern dentistry?
If you ask me, and I have to simplify and the basics, I think number one is having an intraoral scanner nowadays. I think that's indispensable. Number two, if you have the chance of having a photo video studio, I think it's a great room where you can create a certain magic in all this journey. It doesn't have to be very big. It's not indispensable either. You can nowadays document perfectly with an iPhone and still be able to collaborate with Planning Center and get these amazing results. But if you have the chance of having a studio, I think that this is important. And besides this, all the rest, I think, are added. The 3D printer, if you cannot have a 3D printer, you can always externalize this to any lab and to have them print. I've been doing it for a long time like that. So number one would be the intraoral scanner. Number two, I think, would be having this studio. And then maybe understanding that if you have the adequate volume in your clinic, sometimes we, as Christian taught me, the most valuable time of a dentist is the chairside time. If you can get a hold of an audiovisual tech to help you through this process, I think it will make the experience even more unique. I hope that answered the question.
Yes, perfectly, very, very clear. So yes, as you're explaining, is very related. That is not only the equipments; it's more related about the workflows. Yeah, because you can work in a 3D technology without having a printer, because you can, as you said, you can externalize. But if you understand how you can use it, and you know that someone else can do it for you, but you need to understand how to take advantage of that. Right?
I mean, even without an intraoral scanner, you can be digital and just send your impressions to be transferred into digital from the lab, you know, with a lab scanner. But those are my recommendations. So technology is not necessary, but it surely helps a lot to guide you through this process into what a modern clinic is. I have a video here. I'll talk over it. In my clinic, we've chosen to have a specific kind of chairs where we don't need to have practically nothing around us. We have this with the Stern-Weber chairs, where we have all the different specialties digitalized into their own chair, so we don't have to have extra apparatus laying around and creating an atmosphere more clean. It helps a lot with the cross-infection. We do have a 3D CBCT. You know that we plan all of our surgeries guided now with the very cool little click guide from the Planning Center. If you can have this in your clinic, awesome. And then there's complementary technology, such as having a laser, such as having a bleaching lamp. Very important for me, the intraoral scanner. In my case, I work with a 3Shape. I'm very much looking forward to getting my hands on an iTero now and having both in the clinic, especially after hearing Jacqueline speak in her speeches. And there, finally, my photo video studio, which completes a little bit that entourage around the patient journey that we aim to have for each and every one of our patients. I think it's a good moment to clarify, and it goes very well with this slide, that I treat all of my patients exactly the same. I send all of my cases to the DSD planning centers. I digitally copy all of my patients from the first appointment. Even before I see my patients, I already have my intraorals, my facial photos, my interview video, my CBCT, and my intraoral, in this case, 3Shape scan, even before I speak to them. I've tried in the past selecting some patients digital, others not. Now I've learned that it has to be like this. And if you explain this to your patients, they will understand. That is the best way to go.
Okay, I have 2 comments for you, Edu. The first one is that video, I think, summary exactly the previous question that I did to you. Know, what do you think is the main equipment that you need for a modern clinic? And you show it there, you know? You have your intraoral scanner, you have your printer, and you have your chairs, and you have all the environment to create that perfect experience. You know, this is exactly. And the second one, did you use, well, you already said that you use this protocol for all your patients.
All of my
patients. You place mock-up for 100% of your patients?
No, But I do
For emergency, taking out the emergency cases for sure.
okay, taking out emergencies and all this, but there is these few cases where you actually feel that there is no improvement to be done in the aesthetic part, but I still document digitally everything.
Okay. And the 1 million question is, did you charge for that?
That's the 1 million question, right?
Yes.
The truth is that nowadays I do.
And
in the
how was
past,
before?
in the past,
Exactly.
in the past,
Why in the past you didn't charge and now you're charging?
we consider this to be a great communication tool, a great marketing tool. But sadly, you know, at the end, we all run clinics, which in a way are a business. I readapted my head a little bit, moving away from only being a clinician. Now I'm experiencing something new in my life, being a CEO of a company and having to lead a team and having to deal with financial control, budgeting, and all these things that I had never seen before. And the truth is that I feel that when you charge for this experience, you're adding value to it and you're helping the patient understand why you are different, and you're helping them understand that you will create something faster, more precise, more predictable, and hopefully of better quality than other dentists. Also, my protocols now in first and second appointment take much more time than they used to do 2 years ago. You have to imagine that the shortest appointment we have in Smile Design Boutique is of an hour and a half. I see an average of 5 patients, maybe maximum per day. And when I am treating patients, I treat 1 patient per day, and that's it. And I used
my question was coming because we in the courses we always talk about don't charge for the mock-up, and that was our speech like 3 years ago. Now the answer is that depends. No, if you are starting and no one's know you and you want to increase the number of patients and you want to increase, you start to give it for free. You need people that know you, and then when people knows you and you are the reference and people are looking for you because you are, I want to go to a Smile Boutique because Eduardo is the best smile designer in town. Of course you want to charge for that. No, I think it was exactly what you did.
It all depends, you know. I didn't get here, let's say, by chance. I've worked very hard to practice the dentistry I practice nowadays. You cannot expect getting out of school, opening your first dental clinic, or going to work and be practicing like this. You would probably starve to death. I enjoy my profession profoundly. I am very lucky. I actually limited, and in Smile Design Boutique, not only me, but with all the team of specialists, we finalize 6 cases per month, no more. Even if we have more, they go on to next month, because now we can really enjoy having this luxury of dedicating a full day to treating a patient is amazing.
Yes, it's a completely different. No, the clinic that you had in Madrid was a volume, a lot of cases clinic, and let's bring a massive. And now this second project is completely different. It's more exclusive. It's like, as you said, it's like not everybody can buy a bag from Chanel. So it's for the few ones, the ones that are coming because they know that it's going to be expensive, but they also know that the experience is going to be completely different. So I think we need the first thing you need to differentiate that's the pain of your clinic. What type of clinic you are, what is your target, what is your type of clients, and after all that analysis, you need to understand what's going to be your strategy, your marketing strategies.
Totally. It depends. So let's continue a little bit. So as I said, now it's a personalized design for each case, thanks to the help of you guys and the team and in the planning center. Following these protocols, what we are actually offering our patients is really a 3D digital smile design for all of them, which gives us natural anatomy for perfect natural results. We all know that's the beauty of digital. We don't longer rely on the ability of our technicians or on that 1 or 2 algorithms that they've learned. Now we have thousands of different anatomies and shapes from our digital libraries that we can adapt better to that facial analysis, to that emotion analysis for each and every one of our cases, delivering predictability in every different case, uniqueness, optimal results. Even if the cases are more complex and we're talking about guided surgery, we still follow the same protocols. We just add the 3D CBCT into our planification tools to guide the exact position of those implants, so they will be in accordance with the final position of the teeth and anatomy of the chosen final smile. I believe that nowadays we live in a world where, sadly, like my dad used to work referring to other clinics, can backfire. It's difficult to find clinics that will understand completely this workflow, this holistic approach. So I advise, if you can, to have all specialties in one place. So then you have full control of the development of your case from the beginning until the end. And this next video that we have here is, we've titled it "We Do This," and it summarizes everything that I've been talking about before when it comes to how we present ourselves and what exactly are we doing nowadays in our clinic in Geneva.
I think it's a perfect video to end. We are almost on time. You know that you have more slides there talking about the branding, about that marketing part. I think we don't have time for this. Maybe if you want, of course, we can go to in another webinar. For sure, the isolation here is gonna stay at least for 2 more weeks. So if you are available to spend a little bit more about that with us, but I have some topics that I want to touch with you, and
We have
to some questions.
Do we have 3 minutes, maybe? Because
Yes, of course. I have 5 minutes, no problem.
But at the end, the purpose of joining you here, besides how fun it is to be able to do this, you know that this is completely altruistic. And if I had to say what is my goal is maybe I helped inspire one young dentist through this lecture to really jump into this new era, to jump into the digital era, and love and take our profession to the standards and the social perception that it should have. As you said, it's a shame because I had an important topic to talk about, which I think is branding and why we are here and what we do. I don't know if we have I don't know how long this is, like 3 or 4 minutes. There is a video that I would love to share to finalize, and then I can answer your questions.
Perfect. Go ahead. We have time. We can go for the video, and then we can answer some questions because they are very interesting.
It is a very long and deep subject, the branding and the communication. But if I have to choose one slide, I would say this one. People don't buy what we do, but they buy why we do this, and I think we all have to have a clear why in everything that we're doing. For us in Smile Design Boutique, is we believe a healthy smile is a key to a self-confident and fulfilling life, because a smile will open doors, calm disputes, and comfort others. We're using our art to transform lives, not just cure patients. In other words, we are not just dentists.
We're not just dentists, we're smile designers. We design beautiful smiles that enable people to express their full personality. And this changes everything. We are here to reinvent how you feel about the dentist. Inspire you to believe you can transform your smile, and therefore profoundly enrich your life. With our international team of experts in dental services, we will design for you a healthy smile that will help you open doors, calm disputes, and comfort others. We reinvented our art to transform your life. Embark with us in this journey and reshape your smile.
Yeah, this is completely related to the topic of perceived value, no? Usually patients come to a clinic because they, I just want to fix this incisional edge, and say, we are not fixing tooth, just you are creating a full, complete treatment. We're going to change your life. But of course, you cannot say that in the first appointment. You cannot just see a patient and say, I'm not a dentist, I want to change your life. And the patient like, what is going on with this doctor, no? So you need to educate them with this type of videos. It's perfect, no? It's better than having news in the screen in your waiting room. You have that type of videos, and you are preparing, you are educating the patient so they can really appreciate and value what you are doing in your clinic.
That's totally
so. Questions, El. The first one is, what has been the most important lesson you learned in this process of the digital smile design process, the process to change for a normal clinic to a super boutique? What for you is the key lesson in this process? I think you already say it like 3 times before, but just to emphasize.
I think that's clear. It's connection. The clear lesson is learning how to connect with our patients. And in words of Christian Coachman, the only really cool thing about dentistry is the facial transformation of a beautiful new smile. This is the only thing we really have to offer. All the rest is paraphernalia. If we master this, and if we learn how to show them the dream, the possibility, the new them, then we will have them on board, and we will be able to practice the dentistry that we all dream of practicing finally.
Okay, if you can describe us your ideal team. So you're already presenting your video, then you have there just specialized in different areas, but of course you need a full team behind this to produce that type of videos. You need to work in your the reception, you need to work in all these areas, the DSD coordinator. So in this moment in your clinic, can you describe your team?
Well, I have an amazing team of dental assistants with a head of dental assistants. I've surrounded myself with some amazing specialists. I cannot do this all on my own. And then I believe reception is key in any successful practice. I have 2 amazing ladies, which between both of them speak more than 10 languages in my practice right now. Come trained from the industry of luxury hotels. Besides this, I have my audiovisual technician, of course, working 24/7 in the studio. I have a marketing communication manager, a community manager, a web developer, a sales AI expert. I have a CEO, COO, which coordinates everything, and then I have a project manager and a financial controller. So it's kind of a biggie team for just one clinic. I lost you.
Sorry. It's
There you
as we always said, no. If you want to implement DSD, you cannot do it only by yourself. You can be the best one in dentistry, the best with technology, but if your team is not supporting you, it's impossible to make this happens.
But
No,
also,
and there.
understand that this kind of team is there and it's placed like this by me because we're not just a dental clinic. We have a business plan to grow and become a boutique chain. Um, Everything that I just said, of course, is not necessary for just one practice.
Okay, Edu, I want to leave here your Instagram, as I'm saying with all the speakers. I would love to spend hours here because we have a lot of questions. People are asking about your processes. People are asking about the technology that you are using. People are asking about the brands that you are using. People are asking about many things. But as I said, it's almost impossible to answer all the questions. They're going to be all in the world of the Facebook. But if you want to interact a little bit more one-to-one, this is the Instagram, Dr. Edu _edu, and digital smile design. If you want to interact with us, this is my personal one. Even if they want to take a look of your clinic, if I'm not wrong, is a Smile Design Boutique. At the Smile Design Boutique, they can see your clinic. They want to analyze a little bit more that photos and that videos. And the last one, Edu, is for people that want to start implementing DSD, is that they are never tried, they want to start to implement. There's a question that said, if you, it's in Spanish, let me make the translation. Your advice is to start with the analog or go straight to digital?
Difficult one. Look, nowadays for me it's clear. If you wanna save yourself a lot of time, be smart, outsource, go directly into 3D. Use the partners available nowadays, like Planning Center. Your life will be much more easier, much more precise. So it's difficult because I come from the 2D world and it took me a while to jump into the 3D. But from my experience, I would say, don't be scared. Jump directly into the 3D. Find yourself a good partner. Outsource with Planning Center, and your life will be much
Yes.
easier.
I think we can use one of the phrase from Christian, one of the quote, and he says, learn analog, practice digitally. So I think it's perfect. As you said, you learn with the analog way, you learn with the analog DSD. And when you have all the concept clear, workflows, processes, you know what you can do, what you cannot, and then apply it with the digital technology, and you want to make it more predictable, faster, better. So
that's an amazing advice, Luken. And well, as you said, we're all locked up now, but this will pass. It's starting to feel like it's a rock in the kidney in the way it's passing, but it will pass and it will be over someday. And when it's over, DSD team and all the amazing people will be back. And my other advice would be, of course, if you really want to understand this, do a residency course, and then you will know what we're talking about.
Yes. Edu, thank you so much for your time, for spend this hour and 10 minutes with us talking about your experience. I almost there. I think that it's a same path with all the previous speakers. No, it's very related to experience, because usually you learn or people explain you about DSD. You have to do it in this way, another way. I read it in a paper, and at the end, it's all our experience. No, you start with the starting. You took a course. You start to implement in a clinic. Then you masterize the processes, understand the key part. You learn with each one of the cases, and then you create like your dream, no, your perfect DSD clinic with the perfect environment, the perfect boutique. And in the end, I think the key is work less and earn more, right? I think is what everybody wants, and exactly what you said. You are giving 6 cases per month. You are working less because now you are in that moment that you started from zero, from begin learning, and then you are in the top of your learning curve. And now, as you say, now your idea is not about dentistry, it's to make it bigger, this idea, and create more clinics all around. So now that you masterize the process, just make it repeatable. Edu, thank you so much for this. I really enjoyed this. I'm sure that I need to invite you one more time because we have a lot of questions here. So it's a real honor to have you. And for sure, the world's going to go back very, very soon. I have a lecture with Kenji this morning, and he's telling me that in Japan things are almost normal.
I was.
So that's mean that
Kenji
there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Kenji, I will never miss him.
Yes, Kenji is.
I
So
will come back with pleasure, Luken. We went over 45 slides. I was preparing last night, and I think I put together 120. So 20 more here to go. With pleasure, I'll come back. And thank you for having me. It was a real fun, a real pleasure to feel a bit less isolated. Connecting.
yes,
even if it's online.
As I say, I am spending, I don't know, 8 hours in this room in my cave. I
Yeah,
almost forget that we are in isolation. I don't know what is happening in outside. I don't even watching the news. But thank you for this. This is our Instagram, Edu, Digital Smile Design and Mine. I of course want to see you on stage again. We really want to see these videos, this quality in a huge screen. I know it's going to work this year. Let's see what the things start to work. But for sure, you are back. I know.
It's a pleasure, man.
Edu, big hug, my friend. Hope to meet you in person soon. I want to see your clinic in person.
Whenever you want, my brother.
I want to be there, I promise. Thank you, Eddie. Big hug, my friend.